Hello, and welcome to this new tip. Here, I will share a few ways to use the vector layers efficiently in your workflow. When creating a new file with Clip Studio Paint, you will be introduced in the Layer panel with the paper that will be used as the default background of the canvas and a raster layer called Layer 1. To make a vector layer, you can either go to the Layer menu or click on the button above the Layer panel. Basically, everything you want to do can be done using raster layers, whether you are working on lines or on colors. If, however, you want to resize your work, the quality of your lines will not be the same. That is where vector layers are really useful, as they register a lot of information while you draw your lines. Thanks to that, it is possible to resize the line without any quality loss, and the information stored can also be changed later on. Even though a vector layer cannot be filled with color or blurred using the filter function, among other things, its usefulness lies elsewhere. It comes with specific tools and functions that can improve your lines and much more. Obviously, since vector layers are so useful with lines, they are mostly used when making the line art. I would suggest, however, using vector layers as early as in the sketching stage. All the brushes that you are familiar with when working with lines are still available, and you will have access to more tools designed specifically for vectors, like the vector eraser. When making a sketch, the vector eraser allows you to erase a whole line directly or the part until it intersects with another line. Sketching is then more fun, since we can go as rough as we want. Cleaning up the unnecessary lines afterwards becomes easier. Using the Object subtool in the Operation tool will let you adjust the position and form of each line by moving their control points. All the other tools, like pens, brushes, airbrushes, and even erasers, will be considered the same on a vector layer and will have control points to adjust them. To actually erase part of the vector line, it is necessary to use the vector eraser with the Erase Touched Area option, for example. That would divide the line into two different lines. Once the sketch is done, it is time to make the line art. But first, start by duplicating that sketch layer to keep the original safe. The line art can be obtained from the sketch if it is satisfying enough. Even if the lines might have confusing sizes, or the pressure was not right on some of them, all that can be addressed with a few tools. It is possible to change the thickness of the whole layer or individual lines by using the Object subtool in the Operation tool. Also, in the Tool property, you can change the color, the size, and the shape of the brush. Dragging a control point will change the shape of the line. Round control points are found across the line, and are used to make curves. Square control points define the endings of the line, and if dragged, will increase its length. They are also used to create edges. Right-clicking on a control point will give the option to split the line, as well as add or delete a control point. More adjustments to the line can be done by using the Correct Line tool. Here are a few sub-tools that might be of help. The Pinch Vector Line and Redraw Vector Line sub-tools allow you to move or modify the shape of the line. The Adjust Line Width sub-tool allows you to thicken, narrow, scale up or down, and even fix the width of a line with a set variable when applied. Ticking the Process Whole Line option will apply the change all over that individual line. The Simplify Vector Line subtool will reduce the number of control points that make the line. When applied near the endings of two lines, the Connect Vector Line subtool will connect them as one line. The control point subtool can be used to do specific operations on control points like moving, adding, and deleting them. It can also split the line and even adjust the width and opacity by dragging left and right on that specific point. Another way to make the line art is by drawing it on another layer using the sketch as a reference. For this we can use two methods. First method, if we are somehow satisfied by the lines of our vector sketch, we can create a ruler from that vector layer. Then, we create a new vector layer. Once we get that, we right-click on the ruler icon on the right of the vector layer to select it and we drag it on the new layer. Finally, we right-click on the icon again and select the Draw Along Ruler option. Second method, if the sketch layer is still too rough to create a ruler from it, drawing above the reference using the Figure tool is also a viable option. The one tool I recommend is the Curve subtool because it can follow the lines and curves of your reference easily. On a vector layer, once the effect or brush is on the canvas, you can modify all its parts using the control points and all the tools presented earlier. Furthermore, when using the Object subtool, by clicking on the wrench and opening the subtool details, it is possible to modify different aspects of the brush. The amount of particles and even the texture can be changed there. Taking advantage of the vector layer's ability to be resized, we can draw the subject at a higher resolution, and then reduce its size to the one needed. That feature works wonders for small characters used in games. When making the background, objects, houses and cars among other things, I recommend using vector layers. The Figure tool and the Vector Eraser are just amazing for that kind of task. Time is one of the most valuable resources when making comics. Clip Studio Paint has tools for creating balloons, panels and effect lines made by default on vector layers. Like for any vector layer, all the previous tools can be used to modify and adjust them. In addition to all the features presented, it is possible to import and export SVG files from vector layers. Moreover, there are options in the brushes and the fill tools to make coloring easier. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. See you again in the next tip.